Um, where do we even start today? Do we talk about Todd Boehly's comments or Todd Boehly's feelings towards Romelu Lukaku off the back of what David Einstein has reported for the Athletic, of course? Or do we talk about these Barcelona economic levers? This is what some of you guys have been talking about in the comments, and I had no idea about it up until now. And I think we need to get worried about this, if I'm being absolutely honest.
All right. Here we go, back again on the other side of the coin.
Welcome back to the other side of the coin, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to start off from this Barcelona economic levers situation. This is something serious, and we probably need to focus on this first before we even talk about what's going down in the Athletics article from David Einstein in regards to Romelu Lukaku, Todd Boehly, Thomas Tuchel. There's a lot of mess that's going on at the moment. But in regards to Barcelona's economic levers, this is what I just tweeted out, and I'm going to elaborate on this because this is quite serious. Okay, people need to start getting slightly worried about Barca's economic levers. I thought Kounde rumors to Barca were a joke, but now I get why literally there's a queue of players wanting to join Barca. I'm slightly worried about the Dembele situation too now. Over the past few weeks, we've been saying Barcelona's in the mud. Barcelona's in the mud. Financially, they can't do anything. How are they going to... Guys, how are they going to get Lewandowski, Christensen, Kessié, Azpilicueta, Alonso, all of these players... registered? Koulibaly apparently wants to go to Barcelona as well. And now the rumors of Kounde, and the rumors of Kounde, I absolutely, declined it. I didn't want to believe it, but I'm gonna start believing it a little bit. Barcelona has just approved their economic levers literally moments ago in their voting. And it's going to open them up for a lot of cash, and we're going to elaborate on this. Breaking: sale of BLM, Barcelona licensing and merchandising. For a second, I thought it was Black Lives Matters, but of course it's not. One economic lever has been approved by Socis, 568 votes in favor of 65 against. As I said, I'm gonna elaborate on all of this. Don't you worry. Joan Laporta, we believe that the economic levers would bring in 700 million euros to FC Barcelona. Now, before I get into all the other sort of information, let's try and understand what is all these economic levers that Barcelona is talking about before we try and get back into the situation and why I'm somewhat worried. So let's look at this. Laporta's economic levers. For the past months, President Laporta has consistently brought up a phrase that has left people anxious to know how exactly Barcelona will rectify the delicate condition. Optimistically, Laporta has always referred to Barcelona as being ready to pull economic levers that would guarantee short-term income, hence remedying the team's FFP limitations for next season. These big money moves would come from cashing in on some of the club's valuable assets. So this is what Laporta is talking about when he's saying economic levers. He's willing to cash in on some of the club's valuable asset. One of them is this BLM, Barca's licensing and merchandising, and a percentage of clubs' audiovisual rights for the coming years. So look, and it goes on to say about lots of other things. The first two subsidiaries are part of Barca's corporate project initially proposed by former President Bartomeu in 2015. Despite a deplorable legacy left by the former president, the project launched in 2020 was a reasonable success. Bottom line, look, they're willing to sell off some of their valuable assets, some parts of Barca Academy as well, Barca Innovation Hub. The previous board did consider selling 49% of the entire Barca corporate setup for around 100 million, matching their valuation. However, the current board is looking to complete a much more favorable deal in the next few weeks. 49% of the Barcelona licensing and merchandise alone, the division that manages the commercialization and licenses for the club's official products, is set to bring in 320 million euros in total. Apparently, that's going to bring in close to about 500 million, and then down the track, it'll bring in close to about 700 million in total. This is how they're going to be doing it, and this is why it's all starting to make sense. Why all of these players recently were like, well, Don't these, like, how many times we've said this? Don't these players understand Barcelona don't have money? How are they thinking about? How's Lewandowski just simply waiting on Barcelona? How's Koulibaly saying he wants Barcelona? Azpilicueta, Alonso, they all want Barcelona. The reason being, these guys have just triggered something huge financially. They're about to get an injection of 700 million euros. This will help them in the short term massively. And this is why now they're in line for Kounde. And I'm seriously worried. I am worried because the word apparently in the Barcelona area is that they really want this particular player. And the reason they think they can strike a deal, and I'm going to show you this, is because let me just quickly go through this one. Tebas, if Barcelona activates these economic levers, they will be able to sign players. Barca is not ruined; it is money machine and has structured their debt quite well. Further goes on to say, here we go. Kounde, this is from Barca Buzz. Negotiations between Barcelona and Sevilla are advanced for Jules Koundé. I don't know if it's advanced. Some people are saying it's not advanced, but there is a big possibility. The operation is awaiting the approval of economic levers, which has been approved now. The deal could close for 55 million to 60 million euros, plus one player like Dest, Trincão, or Lenglet. I think this is the trick in this scenario here. Barca are able to give a player in exchange, not just cash. So I think the release clause for Kounde is about 65 million euros. We're not getting to that point. I think we've said something about 50 or 55 million euros. We're trying to negotiate. But what Barca is possibly looking to do is not only give about 55 to 60 million, closer to that release clause, but they're willing to give one of their players, which I think Sevilla would take that. At the end of the day, they can't be losing. They've already lost, I believe, Diego Carlos, or Carlos, I don't know the exact name of that player, to Aston Villa, I believe. Losing Kounde is going to be detrimental. If they can get in return a player plus the money, that will sweeten the deal. So this is why this is a bit scary for me. FC Barcelona plan to make an offer of around 50 million for Lewandowski if the economic levers are approved today. This is why Lewandowski as well, now it's quite certain he's going to make it as a Barca player. They will be able to register. Watch how soon we're going to start seeing all these registration of players coming through. Christensen's one come through, Frank Kessié. I'm pretty sure Azpilicueta and Alonso will leave now. They probably need to leave anyway, but are we doing any business? I'm not really sure. We seem like we're so caught up with the Lukaku situation, which we're going to head towards now. But yeah, Lewandowski, and they're going to get a lot more injection soon, probably with Frankie de Jong sale, because Man United's looking to pay hefty sum for that. Yeah, I'm also worried about the Dembele situation. I can't be, I'm not gonna deny it. Look, I'm hopeful that this is done. I'm hopeful the player is happy with whatever it's, personal terms. Apparently that's been agreed. But if Barca comes on with a new offer now with these injection of money that they're gonna get, Xavi never wanted to lose Dembele. Xavi always wanted to keep Ousmane Dembele. So look, Kounde and Dembele, I'm worried. I can't lie. I am absolutely worried about this situation. Let me know how you feel about this. Thank you to each and every one of you guys that have been talking about that Barcelona economic levers. I had no idea. This is quite serious. Okay, let's now talk about the Romelu Lukaku situation, ladies and gentlemen. An article dropped, and I don't know how I feel about this scenario. David Einstein has put that article on The Athletic. It more or less goes like this. Talks on Romelu Lukaku loan from Chelsea to Inter Milan continue. Inter should reach acceptable fee wage. Bigger issue is CFC want players in return. Boehly not fully convinced to sanction exit, but 29-year-old Tuchel relations badly strained. So look, the summary to this is Lukaku obviously wants Inter, and Inter wants Lukaku. And apparently, Inter's going to pay all the wages. They're going to take all the wages, but Lukaku's obviously going to take a wage cut. So we are hopefully saved from that particular, demise of 4 years of, paying Romelu Lukaku, because he's contracted to us for 4 years. So apparently, Inter Milan is willing to pay the wages, and Lukaku has taken the wage cut. And this is one of the reasons why the loan fee, they're looking at about 5 million euros, as opposed to our initial demand was about 10 million, but they'll come to a bit of a range and negotiate and come to a middle ground with us. The other thing that's really bothered me in this is that Todd Boehly, apparently, and the article states this, he's not convinced that this is the right thing to do. He's not convinced. I'm going to tell you exactly what the quote is, because I actually tweeted that out. It is understood the club's new co-owner, Todd Boehly, is still to be fully convinced that letting last season's top scorer and someone contracted until 2026 leave temporarily is the right decision. I'm worried when it's like this, man. I'm worried when, the owners have a different feeling and the manager has a different feeling. And this is what the summary is. Issue with Chelsea, Inter negotiations from Romelu Lukaku at the moment is that Chelsea want players in return. So we want a player in return, and Inter Milan apparently don't want to give anyone, but Dumfries is the one who's been talked about. I'm not even sure if Dumfries, if that's the player that we need, and if that's the player that Thomas Tuchel really wants, but it is what it is. Todd Boehly is not fully convinced that letting the club top scorer and someone contracted until 2026 leave temporary is the right decision. Inter Milan are ready to cover all of Romelu Lukaku's wages. It also says that Lukaku is thought to have established a healthy rapport with Boehly and retain affection for CFC. Sources insist the complications are mainly between Lukaku and Tuchel, and that while Tuchel is in charge, it is hard to see a way back. This is the thing. It seems like it's purely between Thomas Tuchel and Romelu Lukaku. Todd Boehly seems okay for this guy to stay. This guy apparently has affections towards Chelsea. I don't like it. I want everyone to be in the same page. I know the article still goes on to say that it is of the best interest for every party involved to let go of Lukaku and let him go to Inter Milan. Yeah, it's most likely still going to happen, but these sort of disagreements, I'm a bit concerned, because down the track, maybe Todd Boehly may not always listen to what Thomas Tuchel has to say, or he may persist that, hey, you need to try and compromise, you need to try and work things out. I mean, from a financial standpoint, it is quite crazy. 4 seasons left, 4 years left on the contract. For Romelu Lukaku, the loss that we're going to make is incredible. Of course, obviously with the wages and some form of money coming back from the loan fee will help that situation. But look, at the end of the day, Romelu Lukaku is the one that screwed all of this up. I completely understand he needs to go. But it just bothers me that Todd Boehly is not fully convinced about this player leaving. So, look, we'll see how this transpires. But I'm just a bit annoyed that all our energy is going towards this situation when we've got other things to rectify as well. Pre-season literally starts in about 2 to 3 weeks' time, and we need some of these players to be in pre-season. We saw the fixture list come out. 6th of August against Everton is our first game away from home. We need to have our players ready playing, the new players ready, because if it's just the old set of players that we have now, we're already disadvantaged. We need CBs to come in. Kounde, with the Barcelona economic levers, I'm not sure about that deal anymore. Dembele as well. I don't know what is going on. Barcelona has put a mad spanner. And this Lukaku situation, yeah, I'm not feeling entirely good about how it's causing some sort of a disagreement internally. Although, yeah, the total interest is to let him go, but it's too much chaos. Ladies and gentlemen, let me know how you feel about all of this situation. The Athletic article about Romelu Lukaku, Barcelona economic levers, Kounde, Dembele. Ooh, I'm not panicking.